And that's a great journey, by the way. It seems like you've accomplished a lot now, but there is one question that I want to ask, because I think this is important about what you do at Americans for Equality. When you came to me to ask me to work with Alex and put together a cybersecurity curriculum, and then we did the training for a lot of people, you said you weren't just looking for somebody that was just certified. You were actually looking for something specific.
Thanks, Tony, for bringing that question.
Yeah.
So look, the element for us, which has been for Americans for Equality, being in tech and being a builder,
Yeah.
it's not that the curriculum that other nonprofits have, or even community colleges, that's obsolete, but it's set up for folks that already have digital literacy.
Right.
Number one. Number two, whether you pick up AI or cybersecurity, and if you go to most colleges or community colleges and ask them, how long does it take you to revise a curriculum?
Right.
The cycle itself is about 18 to 24 months.
That's right. That's long.
I would guarantee you anybody that's got an AI curriculum that was 3 months old is already obsolete.
Right.
Because of the pace things are moving.
That's right.
So what we wanted to do, Tony, with your and Alexander's help was two facets. Number one, let's make this barrier of entry being so that you don't need to be an expert in cybersecurity in order to go through this boot camp.
Right.
That was our number one thing.
Right.
Second element of it, and equally important, was once you go through it, we wanted to have a surround element of it of prerequisites that are easy. That was where our LinkedIn partnership came in, which we have about 400 subscription for that allows you to have about 16,000 courses.
Right.
But pertaining to cybersecurity, CompTIA, CISSP, that came super relevant based on all the work you and Alex did.
Yeah.
And the third element, the third leg of the stool is you've gone through prereqs, you sat through the boot camp.
Right.
Now the ball is in your court as a student. You got everything, but there's got to be a nurturing element of post boot camp where you can do quizzes, you can do prep work, things of that nature, so that you then feel confident enough to go take the test. Because my memory serves correctly, Tony, it was like $400 for each certification.
Yes, it's about $400.
Just for the exam fee, and we've sponsored many of our students through, but from some, they got to do this on their own.
Yeah.
And that is an expensive early prop, and you're like, hey, am I really truly ready? So beyond going through the prereqs and in-person stuff, all the work that you and Alex did, and in many ways, I would say I'm not going to say you guys break the rules.
Yes.
but you guys were these instigators, these rebels to say, how would I teach this being in cybersec or networking for 20 some years?
Right.
And there's a set of things that, if you go to talk to a lawyer or if you go talk to a dentist, hey, how much of what you learn at your school do you actually practice?
Right. Exactly.
And it's an 80-20 rule, right? And I'm not saying what they're teaching in schools are no longer relevant.
Right.
I'm just saying that some of that is not relevant anymore.
Right.
So that's where I think it was profoundly refreshing to see the approach you and Alex took, which was, hey, what is that the employers are seeking? Yeah. And who better to attest to it than yourself and Alex? And Alex was still is leading a very critical function of cybersec at Microsoft.
Right. That's right.
You at that point were leading that function for King County.
Yeah.
So you guys are, accustomed to seeing what are the skills necessary to get the job done.
Yes, that's right.
And what are the employers seeking. Yeah. So I think that was really amazing.
Yeah, excellent. And if I recall correctly, the program, when we talk about it, was not just for, like you said, industry. It was people that could change careers. They could have never had any IT knowledge whatsoever. And our job, if I recall correctly, was to rise them up, challenge them, and help them achieve something that they probably thought they could never achieve. And I feel like we did that. Out of what we learned, what are some of the industry insights? What are you hearing from partners and customers through this process?
Hey, Tony, I'm going to actually have to go back to the previous topic just for one quick second.
Yes, absolutely.
And that goes to the level of empathy that you and Alex both showcased. Now, it's not about just reading a book or reading a topic, but having the level of empathy of your own background and Alex's background in terms of connecting with people. Yes. And there, you got really higher marks in terms of being able to simplify a topic.
Right.
Whether it was OSI, value chain of 7,
That's right.
or whether it's going into social engineering and hacking,
Yeah.
or firewall topologies, you guys brought it to a level where people understood the
Right.
concept. And because it's only when people understand those basic concepts that they're then able to take it out.
Right.
And it wasn't just about you writing the curriculum, but the way you communicated that curriculum was in a way that I didn't need to be an expert
Right.
to sit in that where I feel out of place.
Right.
And last but not least, you and Alex also sacrificed a lot of the weekend time.
Right.
Because you both had full-time jobs, so you couldn't really take that away.
That's right.
And I remember coming to the same building here in Bellevue on a Saturday where we had a classroom full of 12 or so students
That's
that were
right.
committed about 4 days or 2 weekends time in you and Alex. So I want to take a moment and give you my appreciation on behalf of Americans for Equality.
Yeah, thank you.
And I know about 50% of the folks that sat through that boot camp have got the CompTIA Security Plus.
That's which
And,
makes me so happy, by the
yes,
way.
there's something you guys did it right.
That's right. I
And
appreciate
none
it.
of them were experts.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Now to the second element of what you were
Yeah.
asking about, what I'm hearing by industry. Look, that's the second element of the non-profit. I'm not plugging in my consulting firm, but
That's right. That's right.
you and I both are in a unique place. In
Right.
some ways, we want to serve the community and we want to give back to the society because I think, we've been blessed.
Right.
Simple as that.
Absolutely.
But I still interact a lot with, customers and clients that are dealing with whether it's cybersec or partnerships or M&A.
Right.
And cybersec is kind of pretty much an interesting element of it, whether it's the Anthropic, Mythos, or
Yeah.
Fable 5
That's right.
getting blocked, or it's just going through microprints like the recent interview from Cloudflare.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things happening. For the first time in the history of internet, which is not 50 years old, it's only about 15, 20,
That's right.
57% of all the web traffic is bots, meaning AI.
That's right.
And if the trend continues, in matter of next 1,000 days, this would be 5x or 10x.
Right.
So humans would account for minority of the web consumption.
That's
And
right.
Just just take a moment to reflect on it.
Right.
And I'm not suggesting that 8 billion humans are not enough anymore. What
Right,
I'm trying to
right.
say is that for every human, there will be 10 agents, 100 agents, maybe 1,000 agents
Right.
within our lifespan. That's scary
Mhm.
for if you are somebody who's setting up cybersecurity and governance policy.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Then, one could argue our banks, our NSA is probably the most hardened network.
Right.
Anthropic, one of their models, it took it about 30 minutes to hack through different layers of it.
Right.
To crack through different layers of banking infrastructure.
Right.
To crack through most of the telecom legacy infrastructure. Telecom is the backbone of
Right.
where all the network runs.
Right.
Whether you're using this or using Wi-Fi, it's going through some sort of a telecom interconnect.
Right.
The fact that that could be hacked through so quickly is pretty scary.
That is pretty scary.
Now, in a normal, I think, defensive posture, the idea was the right, and I do agree with the administration's policy of slowing down the release of it.
Right.
And we are able to do that today because Anthropic is a US company.
Yeah, that's right.
But the next model might not be developed by them. It might be
Right.
developed by Chinese, or might be
Yes.
developed by somebody else.
That's right.
Or might be developed by hackers using agents to write a new model.
That's exactly right.
And Tony, that's kind of, in some ways, very uncharted territory
Yeah.
are we talking about here.
Because there's no control. The control's gone.
Yes, the control is gone, and as I said, genie is out of the bottle, the toothpaste is out of the tube.
That's right.
These are really exciting times and contentious times in some ways.
Right.
Now, if you're a policy owner in an organization, you have to be ahead. So it's no longer just a defense.
Right.
It's the offense. It's everything else that's got to work together. And the football season is just upon us.
Yes.
So I would just take a good analogy. The teams that won Super Bowl,
Right.
and Seahawks did win. So
Yes, yes.
Hey, go Seahawks.
That's right. Woo.
They didn't get all the respect, but I would say it's a really good team. And
Yeah.
the teams that have traditionally won Super Bowl are really good at defense and they're really good at offense.
Right. That's
And organizations that have defended themselves are organizations that have not taken security by obscurity too hard, but
Right.
they have actually done stuff and they've found problems, they've fixed it. So OSI model, or if you look at the coding,
Yes.
there's issues in every code.
That's right.
Question is, how do you come up with the processes to find it faster than the bad guys would?
Right.
What do you do on your network? If your only philosophy is, hey, I'm going to patch till I die,
Right.
You're missing the boat.
Exactly.
Are you using AI to actually remediate issues and detect issues faster than the people on the other side that's trying to penetrate?
Yes.
So those are all the things that are going to come in.
Right.
At this point, I think it's already upon us with Anthropic and the Fable 5 getting blocked and whatnot.
That's right.
And the next step, we might not be lucky. And what I'm saying by us, I mean, every company, whether you're a small dentist or a bakery that has a terminal point of sales, all the way to a large bank.
Right.
If you have a device, if you have an application that talks to anything else,
Yes.
you are at risk.
Yeah, that's right.
And with that, I think it comes, and I'm not trying to be a doomer here.
That's right. That's right.
This is not a Y2K warning, the world is coming to an end. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that it puts more pressure on the czars of cybersecurity.
Right.
It puts equal amount of pressure on czars of application development.
Right.
Because if you are writing code that is vulnerable,
Yeah.
let's figure out faster than the bad agents
People
would.
catch it. Yeah.
And last but not least, AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
So
That's
it
right.
all starts with education.
Yeah.
And this is where, bringing back full circle to the topic we started on. All organizations would have to recycle their skills.
Right. That's right.
Some of that is already happening. Some of that is happening with, hey, let's leave it to the people to figure this out.
Right. Right.
And that strategy, Tony, worked a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's no longer enough to expect your employees to learn about AI.
That's right.
I think the burden in some ways, if you're a CEO, and I think there's a famous quote out there, what happens if you invest in people and they find better jobs and they leave?
Right.
Well, what happens if you don't invest and they stay?
Exactly. Right.
And I think as a CEO of a small nonprofit, and I interact on my consulting business with a lot of CXOs, chief revenue officers, CEOs, I think there is a burden that we all have to carry at this point of investing in people.
Right. That's right.
Whether it's our current staff, whether it's the folks that we are hiring, whether it's the folks we are promoting.
Right.
Because every job, every profession is going to be impacted positively or negatively with AI.
Right.
It will be only impacted negatively, Tony, as you and I were talking earlier on, if your folks are not skilled.
Yes. That's right.
And that's where cities, public sector, private sector, everybody has the opportunity to say, hey, AI wave is here to stay.
Yeah.
Let's get everybody ready.
Yeah.
So that's the positive message I'm going to send. I think the burden and the opportunity is on all of us.
All of us. And I agree with that. One of the things I know, like when I was looking for a job and when I talk with people a lot of times, they always say, hey, as a leader, what do you do? And the first thing that I do as a leader is I don't have all the answers. I don't try to have all the answers. My job as a leader is to build a team of people that we seek all the answers together. There's more power and knowledge amongst all of our brains than one particular person trying to make a decision that's greatest. And the funniest thing that I heard just a couple weeks ago, we were talking about, how the last 15 years we've been deploying cloud solutions. And because we're all worried about these applications being now accessed from hackers, I had a vendor that actually came in and said, and now we have another option. Instead of just being, in a cloud solution, you could do on-premise. And I thought, how funny that it's a full circle.
Yeah.
We were already on-premise. That's the only thing that we did before. And then we evolved to be networked and now cloud. And now because of threats, vendors are going back to potentially doing on-premise. I think how funny is that? So
that is,
I don't know if that's the right answer, but anyway.
Look, you get this from my point of view. I believe going forward in a responsible manner is how our systems, our people are going to be updated and upskilled.
Right.